So guys, today we're doing a analysis of a trade I took in the London session today. We're gonna start straight off with this wick on the daily as we're at all-time highs. If we were going to continue higher, I would want to see it stay above the 50% of this. Opening up, we were already below it, so we would need to see it go into it and stay above, or we would need to see it reject it to suggest we're staying lower. And 50% of that wick is the red line. So if we go now to the hourly, you can see, firstly, you can see from about, so only around pre-market hours New York time did we start climbing towards filling in that new week opening gap. We did actually get a full close, not a full close, we almost got a full close, but we did get into the candle that formed that last hour. But before that, we were looking bearish. It was rejecting the 50% of both that weekly wick and the new week opening gap, which is highlighted pink. So if we go into the 15 now, we have this candle's wick was okay, it's fine. So we have this candle's wick here. I wanted to see that being used as a discount wick. So we did see it rejecting here, failing to go lower. Failing to go higher, even above the 50% of that. And this line here, that's 50% of the new week opening gap. We didn't even touch it. And yeah, the lower one is the wick. We did go above that when we sweep this high, and then we displaced lower. Now I knew that we would displace lower after this, which is why obviously I went in short. And the reason for that was we had so overnight we had gone lower, right? Took out this high here, going into that wick, the discount wick level. Price then went and took out this low. Now taking out this high again, we could use this isn't something I took, but if I was gonna aim for this high here, I would have used these levels, this inversion fair value gap, and there's a slightly higher one. And the reason I differentiated between the two was because you can see them individually get used by price. So here, once we start respecting it around this 3 a.m. macro time, 250 to 310 macro, right? You can see it start respecting the 50% of this one. You know, it's slightly wicked in, but body stayed above 50%. Now, after that, we came back into the upper one, and we didn't go below 50%. We just touched 50%, as you can see. And from there, we blew out the high, both this high and the high here. I should have labeled it, but it's fine. This high here. I also posted on Twitter, so I will label it actually. Buy side liquidity or short term buy side liquidity. And let me just make that black. Yeah, cool. You can make it a bit bigger. Cool, I made it a bit bigger. Alright, so now after taking this, I wasn't expecting it to suddenly go higher because we had left these lows here intact. So I was looking for price to move towards those, and you can see this is a clear market maker sell model as well. So as price takes out that high, it wicks it. It wicks above the 50% here. Doesn't go above the 50% of the weekly new week opening gap. Starts displacing lower. I enter here on the 15-second. If I go here, cool. You can see at 8:24 or 324 New York local is when this candle formed. So entry in here, optimally, stop loss at that high, yeah, at there, and then straight displacement, which we got here. It actually did shallowly sweep the lows, which I didn't view as a strong enough take of those lows. So I did actually get another entry around here, where you see these two highs here were formed, relatively equal highs formed, and then it takes it, goes into this octant level. I entered off that into the lows, and so can see that here is where it formed, and then that's where I would have entered off, or not would have, because we did actually take this. And yeah, also another thing to notice why it's better, if you notice, it's the fair value gap forms on the 15-second here, but you don't see it here. But yeah, it was there, so that's more confirmation that that upturn level was actually valid. And then yeah, took it out, went straight for these lows, purged a bit lower, then we start seeing reversal, which I did kind of expect, because price has just been so bullish lately, so I didn't think it was just going to start displacing all the way lower. And yeah,